ScandiPWA is better because of development experience, number one. We got you the tools you work with. You don't need to download any Git source code. You don't need to modify source code. You build on top of it. The migrations are simple. Development experience are the best offered currently on the market. I'll do the share of my screen, and we will try to do everything very fast today. And also, we'll disable my camera. Sorry, guys, for that. I will disable my camera to save bandwidth. So here we have the projects, yeah, and we should create a new ScandiPWA app. So let's do it, ScandiPWA app, and let's name it Alfred's Store, because that's what we'll be building today, the store of mine. Yeah, we will personalize it in our favorite way. So I like blue and I like black. So we are going today for blue and black. And let's wait a little bit for it to install. I'll cancel it because, again, that network is money. I already had this installed. So was just tricking you guys. Sorry, not that folder. We should open up the Alfred Store here. So this is my Alfred Store. And as you might see, here we have an empty SRC folder, and everyone in ScandiPWA community is already familiar, because what we are trying to do here is we are trying to build on top of the original theme. So if we start it now and wait for it to compile, we should see the page still opening and working while still having nothing in the source code. How is that even possible? Well, this is possible because our theme is fallbacking into the ScandiPWA, and that's a parent theme. And we can know this by looking at our package JSON here in the parent theme. We can see this one mentioned. So what we can try doing to make our life a little bit easier, to first add this folder into our where's my Alfred Store? Here it is. Let's go for ScandiPWA here. Again, it will be a little hard to find because Mac sorting is strange. So ScandiPWA is here, and we should select this one. Cool. And another thing what we should do is to make our life easier, to stop like copy pasting components and stuff, let's go for the extension. So let's install ScandiPWA extension. It should be available in only one option. Yeah, so ScandiPWA DevTools, just install it. Should be all right. What we should also now see is if our application will compile. No, guys, we stopped the installation too early, and now it's broken. No, we should wait for it to install. I'll lose a lot of money. Okay, fine. So let's still open this up, and trust me, the page will open. So what we should do now, let's consider what we are trying to change. So while we wait for it to install, and after that for a compile, let's talk a little bit about what we will try to achieve today. So today we're aiming to change the appearance of the header a little bit. So we'll do quite a little rewrite of it, yeah, and I'll show you how to use the tool which we just installed in the VS Code. So the first thing you might want to do is to press Command-Shift-P, and you can write here extend, and we're going for header. So for the header here, and let's up it in here. And let's create a folder in here, and let's use the fallback mechanism to determine which specific file and where we want to describe. So now the header component, we're just looking for the header itself. So let's see. I'll just say I would like to change the header. And here I would say I would like to extend the styles. I will do nothing in container and config. So what it should give us, it should give us the generated template for the header with ESLint all fixed. So it should already work. Yeah. And it looks like we got ourselves installed. So let's start this up so I can show you what we are going to try doing today. And another thing what we'll do is we'll change the appearance of category details and product. Let's go for something. Yeah, let's go. Might be faster today. Or no, let's go for my account overlay. Instead of doing this from the VS Code tool, let's now try to do it from let's now try to do it from 1 sec. I'll do a little trick here to save the day. I'll copy this require section. It seems like my installation got broken at some point, so I'll replace the require section. That's because we canceled the installation. Yeah, so now it should start. Hopeful it will start. And what we can do now is we can try using our CLI. So in Alfred's store, let's use the ScandiPWA CLI, which you can install by writing this, install -g ScandiPWA CLI. Yeah, and it should install you the latest CLI. So what we should do with CLI, we should take a look at the help of it. Yeah, 1 sec, it will load. Yeah, and we can see there is create a new resource. That's what we are looking for. So let's go for ScandiPWA create, and let's see. Oh, instead of create, let's go for override, because we are looking to override something. And let's say we would like to override the my account overlay today. So let's maybe first see the options so everyone understands how it works. So now we can say override the component, and what we can say now is to specify a name, and it might ask us some questions. So yeah, what would you like to change in the component? So I would like to see, yeah, I would like to change this one. And with styles, I would like to extend them again, and I'll do nothing here and nothing here. So we'll select it. Now it will generate for us, and it will say that, hello, I've generated the file. So now you can use this tool not only in VS Code, but any other extension you guys have. So that's pretty neat. Yegors might tell you a little bit more today about this. So I hope the page should open for us. Oh, of course, yes, the bugs in this tool are very small, but still noticeable. We need to provide this dots here. And yeah, now it should reload, and we should see our application working. We haven't yet changed any files, so I'm hopeful it will be compiling successfully. Again, my computer is very slow, just for you guys to understand. This computer has like, I would say, no RAM. This computer has just no RAM. So I'll disable this rule. Sorry, guys, this takes quite the time for us to get sorted. So my account overlay. Oh, I did it in a different way last time, but it's fine. Okay. So hopefully it will work now. Yeah, we can see the ScandiPWA and everything is in order. So what we can do now is we can go ahead and change the appearance of the header. I would like to move the account here, and I would like to move this logo here. So this row will be completely used by the menu, so it could span quite a long time. So what I'll do is I'll copy my prepared styles, and I'll tell you a little bit about what I did there. So here in override, as you can see, we are building on top of the original styles. We're not copying the whole styles. Yeah, we just paste again an additional detail which we would like to be different. And for the header component, we will copy this whole. As you might notice, we are removing some stuff from, again, this boy dislikes us. Yeah, so here what we will be doing is, wait, I'll fix it still, because I would like a proper name, Alfred's store, yeah. And here, what we can see, we are disabling the account, compare, and logo from the header. So if we reload this now, we should see that the USD that we don't have here the compare icon because it's disabled here. We don't have a logo originally rendered here. We just have this obfuscated cut logo in the very top. So why is this logo cut? I'm currently having no idea, but we might debug it. But I hope you guys get the idea here. You just replace the styles and build on top, as always. So we extend, and reusing the original properties, not to redefine them completely. That allows us to stay pretty much extensible and makes us our future migration simple. But what issue we have here is that when I press onto account, it's kind of all over the place. It's not near the button. So what I would like to do here is I would like to include this little my account overlay extension. So on desktop, this looks all right. So as you can see, it immediately reloaded, and we now see that this overlay is tightly coupled, yeah, with our account button here. So that's how you can easily move things around the header. If getting in more detail, all we did here is we added the render account into our top menu, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Here we just removed the image of the image display, so it's a little bit more narrow. Now what I would like to do is to change the overall appearance, because this orange color pisses me off. You know, we are living in a hotel with everything orange, so I'm tired of this color. What should we do? Well, the thing what should we do is go ahead into styles, copy it back into our SOC folder, and here we are copying the main folder, which is important, and the abstract folder. Unfortunately, it's unavoidable, and currently we're not plugging into the Node SAS compiler, so you need to copy files and for Webpack to discover them, yeah? So now in our variables, we changed these 3 variables to colors we prefer. So I already switched to blue color theme, and hopeful right when this thing compiles, we should be able to reload this page and see everything in blue, which makes me very happy. Finally, no orange, except this icon, but that will be fixed in the next release. Like someone just forgot the hard-coded color in the SVG icon here. Again, the internet is a little slow. I hope the image will appear sometime. What we'll do is we might change the appearance of this page. So how can we do that? Well, again, we can use our extend component tool, and let's go for what? For category details now. So I'll write extend component category details in Alfreds store used by fallback. Yes, would like this to be, and I would like to extend the styles. Sure, and it gets generated for us. Again, just copy this, paste it here, and fix this little issue with the styles. And also, let's remove the category image from rendering. That might be very helpful for, this might be just a little bit more beautiful. Again, I'm sorry for making you wait so long. Time is money, but my computer is slow, and it cannot get to the point. So it compiles. Sure, it will do it soon, very soon. It looks like it's done. So now if we reload, we should see a beautiful black color, as bold as my statements are. Cool. And now what could we do as well? We should match the product card style with it. So let's go ahead and match the color styles of our product card. Let's quickly take a sneak peek. Again, just 2 files to override. So let's extend the component. This time it will be product card. And let's use it here. So let's extend it and extend styles. Boom, boom, boom. And what we can do now is just copy these guys here, and we can copy these guys here. And that should make us a little bit more blacky, boldy. Again, we'll have to wait quite a time for compilation, but I'll explain what we did here. We extended the original class by returning nothing from the compare button, additional product details, and visual configurable options, because I consider them non-important, but you shouldn't. So yeah, let's reload this page. Notice it does not reload when you add a new file. That's a bummer. So you can see now everything is black, beautiful and black. So that pretty much that is pretty much how you can get started with ScandiPWA. Of course, you guys must learn a little bit how React works, so you know what you're doing while extending. But overall, that's very simple thing to learn. And you can see that now creating projects are very simple. But what about deploying? So I would like to visit this page somewhere. How can I do it? Well, today it's become extra simple. With the help of our favorite ReadyMage, we can now use resources to quickly deploy the application by running ScandiPWA deploy. And it will build for us the application, and then it will deploy it to the static hosting, and then we'll be able to share it with our client, whatever. Yes, we're just building it, deploying it, waiting for a little bit of time. Again, my computer is slow, but I'll share a secret with you. I already have deployed this application quite some time ago, but I won't be able to find the links that full, sadly, because I closed all the tabs while trying to get my internet sorted. So it's fine. We'll just wait for this build. And I think while waiting for this build, we might also disable the screen sharing. I'll show it again while it will be deployed. I'm just not ready to wait this time, or might be I am. So you can see my face, yeah? And we'll talk a little bit about what's going on with ScandiPWA World. So first of all, I would like to tell you guys what's happening in the team. Well, first of all, we now have two teams, the core team and the core team number 2. And the core team number 2 is now guided by Liana. And Liana is I would say, product owner of ScandiPWA, and she is she's responsible for every new version which gets released. Because another part of the core team, that's me, Yegors, Alexander Rifkins, and Dmitry Asanovs at the moment, are working to deliver you a new ScandiPWA. Test-driven, behavior, test-driven, yeah, different test-driven developments exist, and we are using the behavior-driven, where like PMs can write the tests for us. That's magical stuff. In the chat, and no Next.js for SSR. But again, the good question was asked in the chat, what we'll be doing with Magento theme support, and that's unanswered, guys, because we will try to make sure we don't lose any features while migrating. So we'll take a look how we can manage this. So that's an unanswered question. We also have another approach to documentation now. We have this generatable documentation, which is able to generate from the code and from the tests. So what we defined in test and what we defined in our code comments, like if we consider some place to be a good for extension, we just mention it in the code and then it magically appears in our documentation. We'll make you another very cool document covering all the modules. And we're going for a virtual UI approach. Virtual UI approach means that you can pretty much swap libraries on the go. So you like Bootstrap to with, you like maybe the material UI. Possibly you are this atomic CSS enjoyer. So we are supporting all of this now with the virtual UI, which you can swap in and out. And this is kind of, you have a theme and you have a virtual UI, which you can swap and still have all of the theme interworkings working. So that's an interesting approach. I will share you more on it once it comes live. And yeah, I hope that the application is all deployed. I'll test it now for you, so I'm not showing you a broken link. And it looks like I'm not, so I'm showing you back in the chat. So that's the link of the application we just deployed, just easy as that. And it will stay develop it and then update again. So that's pretty neat for development, and we're making sure that everything we build is friendly for you guys. Yeah, that's another big thing. And yeah, despite maybe that Scandi2 thing, it's a little bit far away. So I would say it's currently in the beginnings of its development. We kind of defined the architecture, documented the architecture, created the tools for us to go forward, added support for Next.js, into our pluggable system, yeah, the plug.js or whatever the project will be called. And that's another topic to speak. But first, before we talk about this awesome things happening, yeah, the Scandi2 and stuff, I would like to say that we are moving towards the great advancement in Magento world in overall. PWA. That development led by the Alexander Rifkins is pretty much game changer. Now, when you want to set up Magento, you just need to call one single command. And yes, might require some prerequisites like Docker installation, PHP brew, and some libraries for building PHP. But even that might come into the void at some point, because we're making sure now that the application prompts you to install those features. So now you can finally get your real Magento 2 instance with or without ScandiPWA running in terms of minutes, and you will have all of the exceptions handled, because that's quite a huge bummer in Magento world. You start working and it doesn't work, you don't know why, and you have to Google those issues. So we are packing those solutions into this great Magento app, so you guys don't have any issues. And we do quite a lot of surveys around the community to create Magento app, make sure it's very consistent. And the bug fixes which we release are, yeah, they make this enjoyment of create Magento app really interesting. Yeah, really, really good. So yeah, that's the Create Magento app happening, and it's already available, it's published. So if you guys are still using Docker approach and you're planning to go for a new ScandiPWA version, consider going for Create Magento app. Another thing, so yeah, we talked a lot about Scandi2, blah, 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 but current setup isn't able to serve it because it's based on the Create React app. So we had to develop something, and the Jaegers will tell you more about this today, something that might work for Webpack projects or Next.js projects or Create React app projects, and still provide you all of those neat features, extensibility features, and this list can go on and on. Yeah, this includes the virtual modules, possibly quite a lot of stuff as well. So we are moving this product, this extensibility of ScandiPWA out of ScandiPWA in ecosystem into another product, which will be published by another license. So you might use it under different conditions. So quite interesting time is coming. We currently have a lot of products under development. So this is Create Magento app, ScandiPWA. This is the plug.js codename project. This is Scandi2. And this was a Shopify project before we got it released. So no, it's not Next.js, sorry, it's Next.js. I'm reading the comments already. Perspective, I'm pretty much finished. I think we have 3 more minutes of mine left. Maybe I should do quick Q&A. So quick Q&A. Let's take a look on what does our favorite stage asking or event asking for now. Nothing in event. So let's take a look on stage. So stage has a question, what about the RTL support? Yes, that's a good point. So in ScandiPWA version 1, we don't think we have enough power today to deliver the RTL support in the next release, but possibly in a quite near future. What we're going to do is we're going to migrate from all of those margin lefts, margin rights to proper margins, and we'll learn this lesson for Scandi2. So it's so it supports both right to left, and not in the next release for sure. Yeah, the team of Liana is very pleasant, ready to take this opportunity. Okay. What do we have here? Do we have any other questions? Where we have to configure Magento configuration. So if you are speaking about Create Magento app, well, Create Magento app has this beautiful configuration file, which they released in like last few releases, and it's here. And in this Magento file, you can specify, in this configuration file, you can specify your admin URLs, passwords, PHP, MySQL, whatever configurations. And if you would like more configuration, you can go ahead into your etc conf PHP, yeah, and go ahead and change what you want there. This file isn't really, so it's like your normal Magento, but now deployed in a matter of minutes. What would you say is the advantage of ScandiPWA compared to Vue Storefront? Well, the largest advantage we have is the extensibility and the amount of features. And that's why people choose us, and the companies choose us in the first place, because first of all, we have a solid portfolio and you guys, a solid community behind this product, which helps us to evolve. Secondly, we have very stable release cycle and the largest amount of coverage in terms of Magento features. We support more than 95%, and every release has something for you to offer. So the work is never done. Yeah, we're working on it quite hard. And the largest thing as well, which the elephant in the room, the middleware. We are having no middleware, guys, and you don't need to write anything for your Elasticsearch data synchronization stuff. It's all gone. You just use your Magento 2 as your source. That's as simple as it is. That's a pretty old theme, I would like to say. Everyone is like asking that from the beginning, day zero of ScandiPWA. In short, ScandiPWA is better because of development experience, number one. We got you the tools you work with. You don't need to download any Git source code. You don't need to modify source code. You build on top of it. The migrations are simple. Development experience are the best offered currently on the market. Number two is that we have no middleware. Everyone have the PWA Studio, the Vue Storefront. They all have something you need to do on your architecture level in terms of getting this working. We don't, and that's a big advantage from our side. You just need a Node.js in your Magento 2 server, or you might even not have it because you might use your CI/CD to deploy it. So that's a big point. And yeah, the middleware is development experience, and finally, feature support. So we cover most of Magento features. You won't find any other product on the market which can compete with us in terms of feature support. So yeah, that's quite a big three elephants in the room when you speak about why this or that. Okay, so now converting them. So we need a clear documentation for existing Magento sites. We have AM agency converting them to ScandiPWA Storefront. Good question, guys. How can you transform your existing Magento sites into ScandiPWA 2 Storefront? That's a hard question to answer because your previous stack is absolutely different from your current stack. So what you might require to yourself first to do is to learn React and templating in it. But possibly we might much easier by creating an tutorial repository. That's another thing we're working for you guys to do. So we had these tutorial videos which were basically covering simple stuff, simple integration, simple modifications. No longer you will be looking at that. We will provide you a course of complex examples of integration. Imagine like the whole project done in ScandiPWA, migrated from original Magento 2, yeah? And you might use it as a reference. It will showcase you like how you can do stuff, how it's done, how it's why it's done so, how the ticket was created, how much time it took to implement. Just sign up as a partner of ScandiPWA and watch out for updates. One day you will receive this. It's currently worked on by our best documentation writer, Rainis Mosaics. So he is the best in documentation, except of Dmitry Asanov. So they are kind of on the same level, but Rainis Mosaics has invested much more time into documentation. Yeah, so we're building on this tutorial repository for you guys, so you could have a real project to compare with. So it's like you getting yourself a project in portfolio, which you can refer to search for stuff, to understand what estimate should we put, to see how these things are done in more complex level. Yeah, that's are coming. Now the questions coming and answering. Are we getting more language support soon? Guys, that all depends on you. We are relying on community for language support. We would love to see more language packs. If you are able to translate in your evenings some JSONs for us, we will be very happy. We got you the tools you work with. You don't need to download any Git source code. You don't need to modify source code. You build on top of it. The migrations are simple. Development experience are the best offered currently on the market. Number two is that we have no middleware. Everyone have the PWA Studio, the View storefront. They all have something you need to do on your architecture level in terms of getting this working. We don't, and that's a big advantage from our side. You just need the Node.js on your Magento 2 server, or you might even not have it because you might use your CI/CD to deploy it. So that's a big point. And yeah, the middle value is development experience, and finally, feature support. So we cover most of Magento features. You won't find any other product on the market which can compete with us in terms of feature support. So yeah, that's quite a big three elephants in the room when you speak about why this or that. Okay, so now converting them. So we need a clear documentation for existing Magento sites. We have AM agency converting them to ScandiPWA storefront. Good question, guys. How can you transform your existing Magento sites into ScandiPWA 2 storefront? That's a hard question to answer because your previous stack is absolutely different from your current stack. So what you might require to yourself first to do is to learn React and templating in it. But possibly we might much easier by creating an tutorial repository. That's another thing we're working for you guys to do. So we had these tutorial videos which were basically covering simple stuff, simple integration, simple modifications. No longer you will be looking at that. We will provide you a course of complex examples of integration. Imagine like the whole project done in ScandiPWA, migrated from original Magento 2, yeah? And you might use it as a reference. It will showcase you like how you can do stuff, how it's done, how it's why it's done so, how the ticket was created, how much time it took to implement. Just sign up as a partner of ScandiPWA and watch out for updates. One day you will receive this. It's currently worked on by our best documentation writer, Rainis Mosaics. So he is the best in documentation, except of Dmitry Asanov. So they are kind of on the same level, but Rainis Mosaics has invested much more time into documentation. Yeah, so we're building on this tutorial repository for you guys, so you could have a real project to compare with. So it's like you getting yourself a project in portfolio, which you can refer to search for stuff, to understand what estimate should we put, to see how these things are done in more complex level. Yeah, that's our coming. So now the questions coming and answering. Are we getting more language support soon? Guys, that all depends on you. We are relying on community for language support. We would love to see more language packs. If you are able to translate in your like evenings some JSONs for us, we will be very happy.